Action!
Hi, my name is Stefan Honenwinkel, also known as Roasted Zerg, and I'm the creator of the unofficial Duke Nukem Tabletop role-playing game, Tabletop Meltdown. Today I'd like to go over some of the basic rules of running a game, specifically a solo Duke game, because I've been getting a lot of comments from other people saying they love to play, but they don't have anyone to play with, and I thought it was a bummer. So I thought I'd share a bit of how I myself go about running a solo game, as well as give a short rundown of some of the basic rules using one of my old adventures as an example throughout this. And so, of course, these tips can be used for group sessions as well. I'll be posting a link for the rulebook in the video description if you're interested in checking it out. There you can find more of the nitty-gritty on how to play. So, let's get started.
Come get some.
So the first thing you're going to need to play is dice. You're going to need two 10-sided dice, also known as percentiles. They look like this, ranging from 1 to 100%. And you also need six-sided die. The ones I got are specially made. They're just bullet-shaped dice. They just make it feel a little more kick-ass when you're playing, and it's just a lot of fun. Percentiles are used for almost everything, from character actions to level generation and everything pretty much in between. In most cases, you'll be trying to roll a specific number in order to pass on an action. Lower numbers are better, with 1 being a critical success and 100 being a critical failure. Let's say you're trying to jump and catch a ledge. That would be considered an agility action, and you'd want to roll below your character's agility in order to succeed. While 6-sided dice are mostly used for dealing damage by rolling the dice and then adding the total to the base damage if needed. For example, a shotgun does 5d6 damage with a base of 15. So you take 15 and you'd add 5d6 damage onto that score, and that's the damage you're dealing to the enemy. Or anything else really. It's not always just enemies and aliens. Sometimes you're shooting a door. I had that one time. I was hanging from a ledge, and there was a door. It was like a building that was like slanted and broken, and I had to hang from a ledge, pull out my pistol, and shoot a door open. And so I had to deal damage to the door, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So continuing on, the next thing you're going to need in order to play is a pencil and a notebook for recording the adventure, and a notepad to keep track of health, NPCs, and other gameplay mechanics, and of course some paper for drawing maps and such like that, and of course your character sheet, which can be found at the back of the book and printed off. There's one for each character type, from Duke to Bombshell to EDF and Average Joes. You can also print off reference sheets located at the back of the book to make checking enemy and weapon stats quickly and easy. There's one on both sides. So,
Let's rock.
So the first thing you're going to need to do in order to play is to create a character. There are currently 4 different character types to choose from. Duke Nukem or Bombshell. Bombshells are just female Duke Nukems. Duke or Bombshell clones. EDF Marines, and Average Joes and Jills. Depending on the type chosen, the vibes of the game can range from power fantasy, where you're a single man or woman slaying armies of aliens, to survival horror, where a single alien poses a threat.
Holy shit.
You must use all your wits and environment in order to survive. The game is built around the Duke clones, however, so they are considered the default experience, and I would recommend picking one of them if it's your first time playing.
Don't have time to play with
the
myself.
Character sheets are very simple and to use, and making a character is very quick and easy. It takes less than like 5 minutes. Most of the stuff is already written in there. You just have to roll your stats. It's a little shiny. You just have to roll your stats and then write them down here. You got your like weapon proficiencies, stuff like that, and you got your quirks and status. And on the back, there's like your special equipment and stuff like that, and your key cards and everything. So and then your notes, and characters get special abilities as well. And so you would choose from a list of special abilities that you can upgrade to and use.
Damn, I'm good.
After rolling a character, it's time to generate a mission. The size and complexity of the mission depends on what kind of experience that you're hoping to get from the game. You can either keep it simple, much like the video game, and just choose some kind of venue for an alien invasion, and then place a nuke button somewhere in the area to fight to, and then blow up. It's also possible to make a full-blown adventure by using some of the extended travel rules located towards the end of the book to travel across the galaxy to distant alien planets, all the while keeping track of your characters' hunger and hydration, exhaustion levels, temperatures, and fighting aliens, as well as disease and deadly environments.
Rock
The choice is
on.
yours. Personally, I like to stick to the simple rules for my game because I just enjoy kicking alien ass and blowing shit up.
Groovy.
So, generating a mission and area can be made easier by using the generation tables, starting at page 49, mixing it with your imagination. Personally, I don't do much planning myself. Everything I do is improvised after I get the basic idea of what I want to do with the story. And I just let my imagination guide me, pretty much. If needed, there are some pre-made episode descriptions starting at page 60 of the rulebook that you can use to give yourself a good starting point for your imagination. They're just little short descriptions of like an event or an area of the game and stuff. And there's stuff like city episodes where everything's around the world in the city. There's space episodes. There's time travel episode, and then an episode dedicated to traveling to the aliens' home planet and destroying it there. And so yeah.
Come get some.
Okay, so when playing the game, you will be switching between the roles of the Duke Master, or DM, and the player character. When playing as the DM, which is the Game Master, you will be generating the area, plot devices, NPCs and aliens, as well as controlling those NPCs and aliens. Treat it as if you were running a game for other players, creating interesting events and characters, and then giving the player characters enough of a challenge to push their characters to their limits when the needs arise. After the DM work is done, it's time to control the player character. When controlling a player character, or PC, it's very important to try and embody the character, seeing and hearing and thinking only as the character would. So not metagaming and thinking like, oh, I know what's going on because I'm the DM as well, and oh, I'll just make the character do this thing because it'll save their ass. You want to stay in character. It's kind of the whole point of role-playing. So if, say, the DM, if, say, as the DM, you have a small alien squad trying to sneak up on your character, right? And you want to give the character a chance to see and hear them, you would roll something like the character's alertness, and if they pass, they would notice the aliens sneaking up on them, or hear something. If they don't, they must continue on as if there wasn't a threat. If, for example, the character is in trouble and you don't want to outright kill them, however, give them an opportunity to try and save themselves. But be okay with losing them when the time comes.
Damn.
You want to have some weight to the game. You don't want to just be a Mary Sue. Don't cheat yourself. Sometimes making a mistake can make for a way funner experience when that character has to then make up for that mistake. So as the adventure moves on, you will be recording everything that happens into a gameplay notebook. Everyone is different, and they might want to do this in different ways. There's many ways that you can run a solo game. You can find different ways online, but my favorite way is to write it as if it was a story unfolding in a book. So think creative writing, except with rules and you never know what's going to happen. And so I'd like to share and read a little excerpt from a previous game I've been running to kind of give a good idea as to how you might write it in the book, or at least how I do it.
What are you waiting for? Christmas?
So in this moment, my character Harry Rogers is making it to a tram system, and he just made it to the entrance of it, and the doors open to reveal a pig cop taking the tram, and they got into a little gunfight. Harry Rogers just slipped behind a trash can for cover, but it's proving really bad cover, and this is the gunfight that ensues. Harry doubles back to a trash can for cover. The pig leans out from the tram door and takes a shot at Harry. The trash can is really bad cover, and Rogers takes a whopping 31 damage.
Oh!
Harry pops up over the can with his shotgun, taking an aimed shot at the half-exposed pig. Bang! A shot goes off, sending buckshot into the side of the tram, shattering a window, but missing the pig. Shotgun needs practice. The pig hunkers into cover and holds his shotgun into a blind fire. The pieces of the bench beside Harry shatter. Dropping the cover, Harry swaps to his pistol. The pig cop leans out, taking another shot. The spray goes into the can and garbage leaps out onto Harry's face. Ugh, grimaces Rogers as he wipes slime from his face. Fuck this guy. Harry leaps up above the trash can and takes 6 quick shots from his Glock. 4 go flying into the tram, 2 into the sweaty pig. The pig squeals as he takes 33 damage. Almost falling from the pain, he manages to catch himself on the doorframe. He attempts to squeeze off a shot at Harry, but is shaken too bad and shoots into the ground. Blood drips from his arm and torso from the gaping wounds onto his shotgun, and then splatters onto the concrete floor. Harry kicks the garbage can and starts walking towards the pig. He pulls up his silver engraved Glock and steadies it to squeeze off 3 more rounds. One hits the pig square in the face, blowing off his snout and sending chunks of brain into the tram. Squeal, piggy. He searches the pig and finds nothing of value, save for 3 shells from the blood-soaked shotgun. Pocketing the shells, Harry kicks the body out of the tram and heads for the tram controls. Rogers drops a fresh mag in as he slips into the control room, closes the doors, and slams the tram into gear. So, that's basically a nice, good example
Let God sort him out.
of how to kind of set it up. That was an early one, so I've changed, gotten a little bit better at writing since, but
Who wants some?
combat is pretty simple to do. Everybody gets movement action, a minor action, and a combat action. It's also possible to sacrifice your combat action for either another minor or movement action. A combat round is a 5-second interval and is completed when the entire table, including NPCs and aliens, have all had a turn. Movement distance is the character's agility in feet per combat round.
Yeah, piece of cake.
If the entire distance is moved, the character is quickly running. If the movement action is doubled, a character is in a full-blown sprint. Depending on how realistic you're trying to be, sprinting like this for too long will result in adding a single exhaustion level to that character, which the rules for that can be found towards the back of the book in the optional gameplay rules. A minor action is anything non-combat oriented, from picking something up to switching or reloading a weapon, and everything in between. A combat action, however, is anything combat oriented, such as throwing something at an enemy, shooting them, or performing a melee action. As stated earlier, everybody including NPCs are reacting at the same time. And so the order of turns depends on your preferences. So some people like to roll initiatives and sort the turns depending on the rolled number from highest to lowest, or vice versa. And other players or DMs prefer to do all the players' turns first, then NPCs and aliens next. I prefer the later option because it's quick and easy, and when I'm playing with a group, a lot of the players really appreciate going first and getting their turns out of the way, and then waiting for the DM's turn, since it can be kind of long-winded sometimes.
Holy cow.
So there are a couple mechanics completely unique to this game that need a bit of describing. The 2 big ones are one-liners and chewing bubblegum. So one-liners are a great way to get the players around the table laughing and feeling like badasses, as they are not only funny, but they also grant temporary bonuses to the characters.
Bitchin'.
A successful one-liner is made when the player declaring one successfully rolls below their ego score, and if they do, they will receive a +5 bonus to a stat of their choice for 15 seconds. in-game seconds. If the player makes an original one-liner and not something from like the video game or a movie or something, they get a plus 10 bonus instead.
Cool.
One-liners can be attempted at any time with at least 30 seconds in-game time between each one-liner attempt. Even if there's one already activated, they can still try for the one-liner. What it'll do is, if it's failed, no new one-liner bonus will be granted, and any pre-existing one-liner buff will be removed. If successful, however, the bonus replaces the pre-existing one-liner buff, but they do not stack on each other. So you can only have one buff at a time per one-liner, but you can do them whenever. So it's a great way to get everyone laughing and having a good time. Bubblegum is another unique mechanic in the game.
Yeah.
In that it can also be used in a different way to add temporary stat bonuses to their characters. Chewing bubblegum will give Duke a 5% boost to all his stats and weapon proficiencies, and it also allows him to roll without disadvantage, or give yourself advantage once per stick.
Too easy.
Gum can be stacked up to 3 times, but only if declared before chewing. Otherwise, Duke must wait for the gum to run out of flavor first, and then when he spits it out, then you can use that one. The flavor lasts for 30 seconds in game time.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble
When
gum.
Duke is completely out of bubblegum, he just ran out of his last stick,
And I'm all
the
out of
effects
gum.
wore off, he will get the pissed off state
This really
bonus
pisses
for
me
30
off.
seconds, which allows him to deal an additional plus 5 damage to enemies. The amount of bubblegum you can carry at once is 6 sticks.
I'm gonna put the smack dab on your ass.
Other Duke gameplay staples are also present, such as locked doors, key cards, button patterns for locks and switches, and relieving yourself using the bathroom or drinking fresh water for some quick health points. And babes can be saved from alien cocoons as well. All of the aliens in the game work just like they do in the video game. They all have their own special abilities and weapons. For example, the Assault Captain is slightly stronger than the Assault Trooper and has a chance to cloak himself and sneak around Duke in combat. They also have a slight chance to play dead and try to get the jump on Duke, or dropping to a knee to increase the accuracy of their shots. There are also boss aliens such as the Battle Lord and the Cycloid Emperor.
It's down to you and me, you one-eyed freak.
And that's about it. Running your own solo game can be a lot of fun, and it can give you ideas and the practice you need to run a group game as well without the stress. I really hope you guys enjoy the game. I always loved Duke Nukem since I was 8 years old and first played it on the Nintendo 64. I put a lot of love into its creation so that myself and other Duke fans can truly make Duke Nukem forever.
Damn, I'm
As
looking
stated earlier,
good.
I'll be posting the link to the rulebook down in the video description if you're interested in checking it out. And if you have any suggestions or comments about the game, don't hesitate to send me an email at roastedzerg@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and remember, always bet on Duke.
Hail to the king, baby.